Oh, come on, camera. Balance, balance, balance. All right, I've got my shrink tubing on. Whoop. There goes my package of batteries. I'm going to use some shrink tubing now and shrink it. Whoop. Gotta love shrink tubing. Covers up all your messes like Bondo. Now, I'm going to bend it to fit underneath the plastic cover.
Arguing that insurers should provide no-cost contraception, and under the wrath of conservative radio host Rush Limbaugh. Over the past few days, he has repeatedly used his program to denounce Book, calling her a slut and a prostitute. As NPR's Brian Naylor reports, Limbaugh's harsh words have in turn drawn sharp denunciations from Democrats and Republicans.
It began when Sandra Fluke testified before a panel of congressional Democrats about the need for access.
Now, hopefully, that's the cold side.
Catholic school does not provide such coverage.
I forget which side is which. Yep, that's the hot side. That's the cold side. So when I put the fuse in, which I forgot where I put the fuse. Oh yeah, over here. Stick the fuse in.
What does it say about the college co-ed Susan Fluke? That those before congressional committee essentially
fuse in.
That she must be paid to have sex. What's that mean?
Oh, Rush Limbaugh's a nice guy.
It's a slut, right?
Look at that.
It's a prostitute. She wants to be paid to have sex.
That means when I put it in four-wheel drive, I gotta crawl underneath the truck door. I got it wired open. That means when I put it in four-wheel drive,
the use of those words was inappropriate, and is trying to raise money off the whole debate. More on that in a minute. Today, President Obama weighed.
oh yeah, it's in four-wheel drive now. So how do you tell if it's working? You gotta crawl underneath it, I guess. Listen for the motor to go.
He wanted to offer his support to her. He wanted
Or
to
low,
express his disappointment,
neutral.
that she has been the subject of inappropriate.
Let's put the camera underneath the truck.
And to thank her for
See what happens. On my knees. I got this thing working properly. I blew the line through. Some blockage in there probably.
Speaking out about the concerns of American women, and what was really personal for me was that
I'll turn off the radio.
tell my parents that they should be threatened. And a lot because Rush Limbaugh questioned whether or not my family would be threatened.
Hang on, I'm going to pause this for a second. And I'll put a still clip in. I got everything plugged in. Yep. Alright, I'll put the camera here. Maybe you can hear it go. No idea. Go ahead, right back.
Denouncing Limbaugh. Bottom of the page is a red button marked contribute.
Yeah, a little higher. What am I doing now? Oh yeah. Crawl back on the ground in the truck. I can hear it all the way in the interior, even with my heater going. I'll take this thing off. More junk. Junk. Junk! Take out my 4x4. Uh-oh. Oh, come on. Now, forget what I'm in. Oh yeah. So now oh, look at the little light. Wow. 4-wheel drive. I think I wrecked the motorized controller. I know I wrecked it, but it was probably working properly. Just might not have been wired appropriately. In my Silverado, my green pickup, a friend of mine came over that knows all about these, and he says, you're always engaged, you should be disengaged. Maybe it was wired improperly, so I just cut the end of it off without realizing that there was a thermal old style and a motorized new style. So I cut the part that moves right off of it, scrapped it. What am I looking for here? See if my axle's turning. The front drive shaft. Yep. See? I know it never worked because it was full of dirt on the top of sand. Never had 4-wheel drive. I know it. I need it on this thing. It's so light in the back with these monster tires. So now, I'll slide on under here. I'll put the camera back underneath. You can hear it. Disengage. We're all in the truck again. Under the door. Put it in neutral. Like that. And we just turned off the key. It should disengage. Yep. Look at that. It works! And I'm going to put this video on YouTube and people can see exactly how you do this operation. Exactly. I hate having to guess about things. I'm not a good guesser. Never good at puzzles. Got the wire on top. Runs up behind the vacuum pump. And then crawl out from underneath this beast. No traction in 2-wheel drive at all. It's got posi and absolutely no traction. I'll tell you about this box in a minute. Wire goes across. I've got it tie wrapped onto the couple of the fuel return hoses. And then I've got it tapped into the second fuse. Now this is a 95 Suburban 6.5 turbo diesel, but this applies to gas engines too. The fuse box changes every year. All you do is find a hot one, put it on the cold side of the hot fuse. It's only hot when the key is on. Then you subscribe to, over here. You subscribe to, I'm going to write this down here because I have a couple guys that gave me tips on this. Somebody else this morning, but it was Matt for, let's see, what was it? Big Boy 4005. Subscribe and give him a thumbs up because he sent me all this information here about how this thing works. So When the signal wire sees 12 volts and there is 12 volts at the brown wire, the electronics in the actuator will run the motor to the engaged position, then stop when it is fully engaged. It has an internal positioning switch. When the 12 volt signal has been removed from the light blue wire and there is 12 volts at the brown wire, the electronics will run the motor in reverse until it is disengaged. Glad to help, man. Well, I appreciate it, big boy. Hope I got the name right. Don't want to make a mistake. I haven't looked at the computer since this morning. And that's how you do it. You don't go underneath the truck and into that major wiring harness. It's a friggin' mess. You put it right up on top. You put a little connector on it that I had. And you put the cover on just like that. A couple more twist ties to hold it in place. Tie wraps. And that's it. Got four-wheel drive. I gotta try this stuff next and I gotta tell you about that box in a minute. Minor issues. Don't get all excited. Shrink tubing, gotta love it. Buy it on eBay, all kinds of different thicknesses, and this is good thick stuff with glue inside sometimes, clear or red. See, lots of it. This has glue inside, seals it in tight. You put 2 or 3 layers on and you're good to go. How's my heater going? Sorry about all the distractions. This is supposed to be about the four-wheel drive actuator. Alrighty. I gotta put the fan clutch on. I got in the basement. Paint's dry.